is this the look of the new AS6 Master Champion? We will know in 28 kilometers. Jeff Campbell has taken the lead after aid station 4.
Tell me what's going on, Chris.
You're quite far ahead, apparently.
How far ahead?
I think around 10 minutes.
Who's behind?
I think Macaneras and the Nepalese guy, they took a wrong turn somewhere. So they are a little bit further back together with Stingray.
What?
And I think it's Kitamura actually on the chase, according to the GPS.
Where do I go?
Here is aid station. Here is a drop back if you want.
No.
Aid station is up here.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you will need to scan here. You can scan later. Yeah, sorry for that, ladies and gentlemen. But as we mentioned, yeah, he will scan when he comes back. Yeah. So, yeah, once again, apologies, but we like to help out the runners. They are dying for information sometimes, and they mostly never get it. We try to do the same for all the runners, so there is no advantage or disadvantage, as you say. Aid station is there, right? Aid station is here, no? Yes. But the scan they can do afterwards. So a bit of commotion here now. Yeah. So typical confusion in trail running, I would say. So we have the drop back on the left as they come into the aid station, and they have the food and the drinks on the right, and it has always been like that in TMBT, to be honest. But of course, yeah, it's not easy maybe to realize, but Jeff is always professional enough to immediately apologize. Yeah. So yeah, Jeff, you have a comfort zone, but of course it's not over yet.
No.
But it should get more fun now, because the road section should be more or less over. Jeff Campbell, he already looked very strong at aid station 4, I thought. And now he goes on the second loop, shortest loop of 28 kilometers, different loop of course than the first one. First one is basically an A to B track. And now he starts on a 28 kilometer loop, which is a shortened version of what the 100 kilometer runners are doing. And again, Jeff is not, yeah, okay. Luckily, he sees the marking just on time. Yeah, you need to pay attention when you read the crossroad, of course. Yeah? Even the elite runners, they should really pay attention. But okay, he is on the right road. Jeff Campbell, ladies and gentlemen, so he has already scored 9 ATM race wins since the beginning of 2018, but never the championship. Even last year he did not reach the classic podium, top 3. He was 4th in Lawu Ultra in Indonesia. So we know that he was focused on this one. He sustained a pretty bad injury in skiing last winter, and it took him a few months to really get back in training to recover from that injury. So that was a bit of a question mark, because Jeff Campbell, of course, also no longer the youngest in the field. But already in Singapore, he proved that the age, in any case, did not really matter to him. And also, if you follow our club Strava, you can also see that Jeff Campbell is very often in the top 3 of the leaderboard in the context of highest mileage of the week. So Jeff Campbell, he used to be a 50k runner, but he has been revamping himself as a long ultra specialist, also on purpose. He said he's turned 40, so now is the time to try to carry that speed that he has developed over the years, and which will normally no longer improve, to try to carry that into the longer ultras. That's the way to do it. I agree also with that method. So, and at the moment it's clearly paying off. But yeah, so what happened after aid station 4? So aid station 5, you had a short update by Mark. Once again, also there the connection was not wunderbar, was not great. So we have to make do with the GPS tracking to get the most recent updates. I'll show you some of the scenery here, fantastic scenery of TMBT. Still cloudy, but the sun is coming out here and there, so it has not been raining anymore. So to be honest, that's a good thing. It's still not warm. I'm actually here at the finish line shivering a little bit, and I'm wearing a wind vest. Yeah, it's really unusual circumstances for Borneo TMBT today here in Malaysia. it's also a special day. We have the ATM Championship final. It's a bit of a guess how far the next runner is behind, but Jeff Campbell was running very strongly uphill on a prolonged road section, and that was prolonged because, as we mentioned in our previous podcast, the rivers around here are quite, not even quite, they are very swollen, and there is a safety risk, so we have to go around them. And that is also why on the GPS platform you sometimes see runners going allegedly off course, but it's not. Even though we found out that apparently Arni Macaneras and Milan Rai, not Lokendra Rai, Milan Rai, went off course briefly after aid station 4, and that's how they lost the lead, and that gave Jeff Campbell the opportunity to catch up. So apparently that is what happened according to the people alongside the road. We also know that if you look at the GPS, Stingray, John Reonifa, reigning champion, defending champion, is still running, and in the neighborhood of Macaneras, so that Filipino duel I think is still on. And once again, when they arrive here it's kilometer 51, so there's still almost 30k to go from here to the finish line. Same place at the Perkasa Hotel, the traditional finish line of TMBT 100. So Stingray is still there. Also Hisashi Kitamura is still going strong. So we had the impression already at aid station 4, we mentioned it, he was having a lot of talk, he was cracking a few jokes, and that's always a good sign with Hisashi. So let's see if he, especially on this prolonged road section, has managed to catch up even more. But the gap with Campbell is quite big, so who is going to bridge that gap in 28 kilometers? It is possible. There are some technicalities as well, of course, coming up, and Campbell can also blow up. Already John Ellis, the 2019 ATM champion and friend of Jeff Campbell in Hong Kong, already WhatsApped me saying this is going to be Jeff's year. Yeah, he has been working for it. He is a big fan of Asia Trainmaster already for years. He's, like I said, 9-time race winner in our series. And like I also always say, it's not my invention. It comes from a Belgian commentator in cycling. Try to win a race. Just try to win a race. Regardless at what level, try to win a race. It's not as easy as people think. So 9 race wins demands respect. So yeah, please bear with us. I'm going back up, see what the aid station looks like. So this is basically the small street where the runners will be coming out of later on as well, towards the finish line. They come out of this little descent and then they go back to the finish there again, slightly uphill. But right now they come from there. It's a long uphill on the road, unfortunately, from the village up to the hotel, which is right there. Okay, pick that away. Thank you. So we go back up. We will keep this live stream rolling, why not? I try to entertain you with some insights into the race. The Nepalese, let's talk about the Nepalese. Milan Rai and Arni Macaneras left aid station 4 in the first positions, shortly followed by Milton Amat, the local hero. What happened to Arjun and Lokendra Rai? Previously I mixed up Lokendra and Milan, with apologies. So what happened there was that Arjun and Lokendra took a wrong turn and the others did not. Very simple as that. And they basically run themselves out of contention, out of victory contention, because they continued too long on what was a wrong path, a wrong road. I'm not sure exactly where it happened, but you can see also on the GPS they went off course. And again, this is part of trail running, especially also for elites. Sometimes the markings are indeed not great, but that we cannot say about TMBT. They have always been great, and there are special circumstances also this weekend because of the necessary reroutes due to the safety concerns of the swollen rivers. So we should also give credit to the team of Klaus Pedersen and Borneo Ultra for being able to remark certain parts of the track in time for the ATM finalists to arrive. because we started 1 hour earlier than the 100k and the 50k open public races. So we should not be too harsh on anybody now who feels that their favorite runner maybe had a disadvantage here or there because of alleged bad marking, because we actually saw the markings and the marshals, in fact, at these turns, and they were there. So we cannot confirm any instance of bad marking or bad marshalling. So please let that discussion be. Jeff Campbell was right, and so also many others were right, just like before aid station 4, Arjun and Lokendra made a mistake, just meant a mistake. They just failed to see a sign, and all the others did not. So then the marking can also not be that bad, right? And here we have the number 2 runner, and that is Arni Makaneras. In fact, it is not Hisashi Kiwatamura. Yeah, Makaneras. His tracker is sometimes not updating very frequently. This is probably due to the fact that it is put at the bottom of his hydro vest. But this is clearly an informed Arni Makaneras today. Very aggressive between aid station 3 and 4. He took the lead, came from behind, in fact, and he's still running in second place. And let's see what is still possible for him.
Number 2.
It's going well, Arnie, second place. Jeff Campbell is about 7 minutes up the road. Okay, Arnie, so pay attention. If you need backdrop is there on the left. If you only need drinks and food, drinks is there. And you need to scan, of course, scan. Arni Makaneras, the 2022 ATM champion on the Mount Apples car race. Many people felt that was just a home victory, but first of all, I always disagreed with that, because he dropped Milton Amat and Alessandro Sharpa in the uphill and not in the downhill, where he had the obvious advantage of knowing the downhill of Mount Apo, where he did it on pure strength there in the last kilometers of the boulder race. And since then, Makaneras has proven to be a very, very legitimate champion. He even finished ahead of John Ray Onifa last time they faced each other. And I'm sure that this also plays in the mind of both today. And at the moment, Makaneras is winning that duel. But for catching Jeff Campbell, right now I do not see a lot of enthusiasm anymore. If you compare this with the initial aggression of Campbell, then I think it's quite obvious who of the two wants it most. Yes, this nice number whip 2022 hero to commemorate his winning championship title in that same year, 2 years ago. Also needs additional food apparently. We will leave him in peace there. Christine, did Arnie mention anything? It looks to me that he does not really have the ambition anymore to catch Jeff Campbell.
Really, I just motivated him that his gap with Jeff is not that significant and has a significant gap ahead of Hisashi. So I think that motivated him. Okay.
Well, we hope so. It would be nice to still have a great battle. It's just been fantastic so far. But Campbell really now put the hammer down, right?
Yes.
And and he's going for it. We knew he was going to go for it. The question was, can he do it over 80 kilometers and against these competitors after such a long injury?
Last 30 kilometers for Jeff.
Yeah. What do you think about the fact that Makaneras is clearly ahead of Onifa today, at least so far?
Actually, I'm a bit surprised because Chandri has been dominating even the local Philippine trail scene. So I think Macañeras has this control, that he was able to control his earlier pace and that he was able to sustain that. I don't know if he's directing the Marilog, he's one of the technical directors, has helped because he's been doing a lot of records, so maybe that helped. So
Okay.
I think he had a good training.
Yeah.
So I hope he can sustain that for the last 30 kilometers.
All right, thank you very much, Christine. We'll be back shortly. And yeah, let's wait a few more minutes to see if Hisashi Kitamura is indeed coming through as number 3. At the meantime, as you can see, they're still building up the finish arch. Again, there's a reason for that. It's been extremely windy and it would simply have blown over immediately. So it's an unusual day in this part of Sabah, while Macañeras is already going back on the trail for his last 27 kilometers. The Filipinos are back in the competition also for the team championship after Nepal was at some point looking to do a clean sweep. But yeah, the incidents with Arjun and Lokendra has put a dent in those plans, and also the fourth runner, I think it's Shurpa Singhi, I think. I never met these people before until last night, so apologies for that. He was already dropping a bit further down, and he might actually finish outside of the top 10, I fear. So that gives opportunities for the Filipinos again, because they have Macañeras, they have Oniva, and also Kiksuelo and Yeung Sakale and Jevi Kakate, not to forget, are doing very, very well today. Then, of course, it depends on the female part of the team. And there, Nepal is clearly stronger at the moment. But Philippines is selling its skin very expensively. Mary Joy Samanda is having the best race of her season so far. Shelly Houston is right behind her. And also Christine Montoya is not that far. It seems that only Julian Morales is currently a little bit off the pace, we can say. There are even some rumors that she might have DNF'd, but we will try to confirm that as soon as possible. And Iris Glorioso is just performing at her level, which is decent, and she will certainly move up the leaderboard still towards the end of the race. Iris, of course, is a real long ultra specialist, does not necessarily have the high speed that, or at least the higher speed that is required to score a top result on a 75 ATK distance. Vanja Knops, the Belgian young woman based in Singapore for a long time, running for Singapore also, Team Singapore. She was definitely a pre-start favorite, and yeah, it's still possible that she could win, because the female leader Priya Rai, Nepalese, has never gone beyond 55k in racing trim, as if I understand correctly. She also confirmed this to me once. So she will be going in uncharted territory as soon as she takes this right turn here, right in front of me. So we have to see how that goes, but she has an advantage of almost 20 minutes now over Rashila Tamang and Vanja Knops. So those two are again together just like last year. And Padam Kumar has dropped back a little bit. She's running together with Shoki Sherpa, and they are under pressure from Loilung and Akane Nemoto. So they are moving up. Reslin James is doing quite well. He's also featuring in the top 10 together with Shamira Outer and the previously mentioned Mary Joy Samanda from Mindanao, Philippines. Okay. Yeah, the gaps are substantial. I mean, fans, watchers, viewers, what do you think? Is anybody still capable of catching Jeff Campbell today? It could be game over. It really could be game over. Sun is coming out, so this will be becoming a bit warmer. Temperature will be rising, and maybe it's a good occasion also to mention to everyone that season 10 of the Asia Trail Master Championship Series already commences next week in Indonesia. The Dieng Trail Run in central Java. Very scenic as well. While we see Hisashi Kitamura now coming up, indeed in third place. So that in itself I find already remarkable in a way, after seeing him in the first 2 aid stations. So he clearly has learned something from his previous participations in TMBT. And as you can also see, he's still running. Whereas Arnie had to walk a little bit here. Good job, Hisashi, third place.
Who's the leader?
Jeff Campbell,
How far?
10 minutes.
Okay. Who's the second?
Arnie Macaneras. So translate, okay, for me, I think he knows. Despite all the fighting spirit that is inside him, there has always been someone better than Kitamura at TMBT. So seems he's going for his drawback.
ATM 53. ATM 53.
And with that, I'm going to close this live stream for now. We'll be back with video updates as soon as the other competitors arrive. In a way, it's quite surprising that Milton Amat has not managed to follow Hisashi here. Maybe Milton is still biding his time, who knows. But one thing about Milton this season, we haven't seen anything out of the ordinary. I mentioned it also in my race preview before. So yes, he's at home. Yes, he's been dominant in TMBT the last times he participated. But not this year. This year we have not seen anything exhilarating by Milton Amat. And it looks like today will be the same. So probably no victory for the home star. And with that being said, I'm going to close this live stream and we'll be back with video updates from aid station 6 throughout the day. We're also going to stay put here to wait for all the women passing through. Mark will be moving from 5 to aid station 10 and 11.